What is up, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again with another action figure review. This time, we have got it going on with the Iron Man Retro Wave series. Number 2 in our march towards the end. This is Retro Wave, retro cards, so there are no Build-A-Figure pieces. So when we do our 6, we will then be out. You see what we got going on today, though. We have a bucket list item of mine, Count Lucino Nefaria. This guy, let me tell you something. If you don't know what's up with Nefaria, with Count Nefaria has been in the Marvel Universe since the 60s. He was an adversary of the X-Men, believe it or not, but not like this. Count Nefaria, he was basically a crime boss. And he was, of course, a count. I can't recall if he's a self-proclaimed count or a bona fide one. Whatever the case might be, he thinks himself as one. His daughter is Madame Mask, for those that didn't know that either. As far as the look that we see here in packaging, this goes back to the late 70s, where in the Avengers, he had recruited his version of the Lethal Legion that consisted of the original Power Man, Whirlwind, please forgive that faux pas, Whirlwind, and the Living Laser. Now, Power Man had been not depowered, but his powers were greatly reduced, and Count Nefaria had recruited this evil scientist that worked with these villains and increased their powers. Now, he even managed to increase Whirlwind's powers. Now, at the time, Whirlwind was not reported to be a mutant. That didn't come till years later. And so I don't know how he was able to enhance Whirlwind's powers, but he did enhance the Living Laser's powers, and he brought Power Man's powers back, and he enhanced all of them. They all had their powers increased, I want to say tenfold, and they went up against the Avengers and gave them a run for their money. And while they were fighting and basically had the Avengers on the ropes, their powers just suddenly cut out, and just like that, they were done. Turns out that this was all a plan of Nefaria's to bolster their powers, and then those powers get transferred to him. And like I said before, all of their powers were increased tenfold, and then he had it increased at least tenfold from that point. So however powerful those three had become, Count Nefaria, A, had all three of their abilities, and B, more powerful. And his abilities got increased to the point where he was a straight beast. The Avengers during that time consisted of Wonder Man, Iron Man, the Vision, who was inert during their first encounter, Captain America, the Beast. There were, so, you had those guys on the team, and they couldn't do anything with him. Thor joined in, and even Thor had a hard time with Nefaria. Nefaria, when he braced himself, he's able to repel Thor's hammer when it's thrown at him. So that gives you an idea right there. The Vision joined in, and with all of these powerhouses on the squad, they still couldn't do anything with Nefaria until they all kept him occupied. The Vision went up into the just below the stratosphere. He went as high as you could go while it's still gravity and air. and then he just increased his density to the ultimate and began to fall. So they had Nefaria basically on the ropes, and he timed his descent perfectly, landed right on Nefaria, and Nefaria was knocked out. And he's shown up a few other times. He's made up of ionic energy, and when he's fully powered, this guy is a beast. He has taken on whole teams with powerhouses on them. He has since been reduced in power to where he can shoot ionic blasts now, but he's nowhere near as strong as he was. But he always has the potential to get that way. So, yeah, that's enough of that. I spent nearly 6 minutes talking about Nefaria, so I apologize if this review is going to go a little bit longer because we haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes of the review. But it is what it is. You got some people out there that don't know. Now you know. And so anyhow, you see what's going on in the packaging. You got Nefaria. He's got an additional set of hands. No other accessories. No demonstration of his power set, as in energy blasts. Turn to the rear, and you've got the sketch showing how you can switch the hands. Turn back over here, and you get one last look at Count Lucino Nefaria before he comes out of this packaging. Count Lucino Nefaria on our rotating base, going round and round. His the way how he exhibited his powers, I didn't mention that in the opener. He has the super strength and whirlwind. You know how he spins. That's his power set and can go fast that way. More of a spinner than a horizontal runner. But Nefaria exhibits his speed ability by being super fast, meaning flying or running. In the beginning, he was just making prodigious leaps, but eventually he learned to fly. Of course, he's got the super strength, and in terms of the living lasers powers, that's where he emitted them from his eyes as opposed to the laser emitting them from his hands. It was it was just a basic, it was a blatant attempt at making a Superman copy back then to be a bad guy against the Avengers. And so that's how they went about it. He ended up actually fighting Iron Man one-on-one, believe it or not. This was back when Iron Man, they used to show Iron Man as a badass, and I mean with his armor. Not he gets his butt kicked and then he ends up resolving the issue as Tony Stark with his brain. He used to go up against cats and beat them through the power of his armor. But alas, those days are far behind us. Anyway, you see what we got going on there. Count Nefaria's got the cape. He's got it escapes me what the rope that goes diagonal around his chest area is called. I know a lot of like French foreign legionnaires, they have them and stuff like that. But yeah, you see he's basically black, white, and red, and the inside of his cape is yellow. We'll take a look at that cape and everything else when we get him off the platter. The accessories that he comes with, we saw them in packaging. He just comes with a set of hands, graspers, and that's about it. Out of packaging, it comes with fists, and yeah, that's all we get. No demonstration of his power set or anything. Looking at Nefaria close up, that portrait looking very diabolical. Look at that grin. But be that as it may, the face print is looking very, very nice. Even with that nefarious grin we got going on, the eyes looking nice. They're blue. He's got the gray streaks, temple style at the hair. It's looking real nice. Then you go down the body, and once again, he's basic black and white. Looking at mine to see how good it looks. He's molded in black and painted white, so you know how problematic that can be. And we do have issues. Speaking of the problems, you can see I've got some some spillover right there. So that's not clean at all. And I'm trying to look to see if there are anything coming through, because normally when you have a black or dark figure and you paint a light color over it, the dark color, the dark plastic ends up seeping through. I don't have that so far. Only the little sloppiness down there at the bottom of where the black meets the white is all I seem to have. Then you got there on the sides, the gloves looking nice. And then you got the boots down below, just white, painted red right here, and that's it. And as far as the cape goes, I'll pull that off and move Nefaria to the side there so we can check out the cape. You see it's just a one-sided cape that flails over his right side. It's got the peg, got the yellow on the inside and red out here on the outside. It is basically molded in red and painted. Molded in red. Wow, I had you off screen there. Molded in red and painted yellow. Seems to be pretty good in terms of lack of sloppiness. Bringing Nefaria back, we have this. This is a loose piece. As you can see that going around. Just make sure that that is out of the way of the peg hole when you snap it back in place. And that's how you have your Nefaria looking. Pretty cool. I'll take this off one last time because we're going to go through the articulation scheme, and it's as follows. Head is on a ball hinge. He can look up, which is great because he's a flyer or a high leaper. He can look down. Very good. As far as attitude is concerned, you can get a little bit, and of course you can 360 it. He's got the shoulders. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was about to talk about the butterfly joints, but let's talk about the T-pose first. Then, of course, the 360 and then the butterfly joints. He does have those. And while I was messing with him, I discovered something nice. Here's his rear back. You can see that. And when you go forward for the clasping, it gets no better than that. That's great. He's got the bicep swivel, pinless, double jointed elbows, swiveling at the wrists with horizontal hinges. That's on all four of his hands. He's got an ab crunch. You can go forward that way. Looks kind of ugly there in the back. He can go back that way. Looks kind of ugly there in the front. He's got waist swivel that's hidden behind this separate belt that is like of a rubbery material. His hips, he can go out that far. He can kick his leg up 90, go back a little bit like that. He's got the thigh cut. He's got double jointed pinless knees, as you can see right there. He's got a cut at the boot. He can point his toe forward that far, go up that far. He's got ankle pivot. And you know he's got holes, peg holes, at the bottom of his feet. And I was sitting here thinking about what characters can I use for comparison with Nefaria. And I was going to go with Wonder Man, since both he and Nefaria are ionically powered. But I figured, you know what would be more appropriate would be to hit on what I touched on earlier in this review, that Nefaria was Marvel's attempt at, making a bad guy Superman. And that was not the first time that Marvel has done that. The first time goes back to, I think it was 1969, 70, or 72. And it was with this guy, was Marvel's first attempt at creating a bad guy Superman, and that is Hyperion from the Squadron Sinister. This, of course, is Hyperion that we got from the Squadron Supreme 2-pack that he shared with Dr. Spectrum earlier, but definitely a ripoff, a Superman ripoff for sure, as all the members of the Squadron Sinister were ripoffs of the Justice League. Next, we have something that's quite familiar to you guys, and you know that this guy was definitely a stand, don't fall. You're supposed to be powerful there. Gladiator, Kallark, aka Gladiator, definitely a Superman ripoff. And the most recent one, you already know what I'm coming with. We have got Rob Reynolds, aka the Sentry. So there you have it right there. The Superman ripoffs of Marvel. Here's Count Nefaria with the only other figure that I've reviewed in this wave. We have got Iron Man Model 01, the Gold Edition. So wrapping up this review of the Marvel Legends Iron Man Retro Series wave, Count Lucino Nefaria. Checked off a bucket list item for me. Got him out of the way. Now, as far as another villain that I have been wanting, another Team Buster villain, Graviton. That's who I'm looking forward to next, for sure. Franklin Hall, aka Graviton. Yes, indeed. That's who's also on my bucket list that I'd like to see in plastic. As far as this guy's concerned, we got it going on. He's on the Vulcan body, so you know that's cool. Got all the articulation we could want. He's lacking in accessories with just a pair of open hands that you see displayed right here. And, well, no power effects. Hasbro really needs to look into, they did it one time with Cyclops. We need to get head sculpts that are minus the eyes so you can insert optic blasts in there. We've got a myriad of characters that could use that. Nefaria, of course, right here is good for that. The Vision, Hyperion, Gladiator. I think I already said the Vision. Yeah. Hell, Thanos. All these guys emit optic blasts. So it would be great if they figured out a way to do that. Icarus, however you want to pronounce it. It's Icarus because that's how they called it in the movie. He could have used something like that. So maybe, just maybe, that's coming down the line because, like I said, they did it one time with Cyclops, so it can be done again. What do you guys think about that particular suggestion? Put that in the comments below, as well as what you think about Count Lucino Nefaria and how this wave is turning out. You're going to get him, you're going to drop him, what's up? Let me know down there while you're at it. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, and that's how it gets done.